Peppers and Butts, it's Kirka. So today I have a speed art video going on for you, and then I'm going to be talking about some of your questions. So I tweeted these out because I gotta ask you guys somewhere. 123 asks, what got you into art and who or what is your inspiration? There's a few different things that actually factored into me starting into art. It's kind of a natural attraction for one thing. I had some family members that were into painting and everything, one in particular that I'll get into, but I was surrounded by Dungeons and Dragons growing up, for sure. Like, that was the biggest thing. And I was always interested in the monster manuals. I still have one of them here. It's the first one that I ever really got into, which is the second edition monster manual. Yeah, shout out to all of those THACO people out there. I know what it means. Do you? Growing up, I was always flipping through the old monster manual book and looking at the different monsters, the different creations that were in there. And I would draw those as well as create my own. As the new editions came out, I would always pore over those monster manuals. Like, I definitely credit the second edition for a lot of me starting out, but every single edition I was obsessed with. That's the only thing I ever really read. The creation of creatures is definitely something that has always fascinated me and always been like a really, really huge interest. I don't have beer today. I have coffee instead. It may be 7 o'clock at night, but at this point, coffee doesn't affect me normally, so it's basically my bloodstream. Fantasy is definitely the largest inspiration. I also got into, the Elder Scrolls games, specifically Oblivion, at a young age. Anybody who's been watching that on stream knows that I adore Oblivion. God, I love it so much. Definitely the first big one. Fable, loved that too. It's a lot of this fantasy stuff that I've always been extremely attracted to, just growing up. And there's a few funny stories of me growing up and drawing like zombies and stuff and playing wizards and things, and my parents being called and letters being written. Now, my parents were the ones that were playing Dungeons and Dragons, so you can imagine how that went. Especially when one of the teacher's aides misspelled the word wizard, which I didn't even think that was a thing, but I guess if you're mundane enough, you don't know how to spell the word wizard. I digress. The person who probably inspired me the most growing up was my great-grandmother. She's gone now, but she painted a lot of things, and God, she was always really into painting with oils, I believe is what she would paint in, and also pastels. I haven't really explored pastels very much, but I do really enjoy charcoal. When we go, away from the digital mediums and into something more traditional, I'm definitely all about charcoal. So I don't know if that is some kind of side effect of just being exposed to all of her really cool, really well done pastels in the past. But dude, charcoal is a nice, speedy fucking thing to work with. I'm just saying. Now, as far as like medium exposure, my family has always been super supportive in me exploring different forms of art. But sadly, a lot of the time, I just wasn't interested in like, hey, I got a new thing for Christmas, like some kind of art supply, some pens or something. That happened a lot, and I feel bad that these things just accumulated, didn't really get used. I had some things that were kind of like blocking me from using stuff like that, from exploring out. I don't know why. I don't know if it was just the fact that I was kind of shy about some stuff. I know, me, shy. But I would stick to pencil, and hell, I didn't even touch charcoal until college, really. I messed with things a little bit in the art classes that I took, but that wasn't until like 9th grade that I even had an art class that I could take. So there was a lot of support on, providing me with the tools that I needed, And eventually, again, this is a Christmas story. A Christmas story. This is a Christmas present story. That's how I ended up getting into tablets. The Wacom tablet, which is what I draw on. It's not one that has a screen. It is one that is basically just, I use it like my mouse off to the side. That's how I like to use it. That's just how I started using it as a kid. I was very fortunate in that I had a relative realize that I was really into, at the time I was doing like minor editing, and then I would do like pixel art, like little sprites and stuff. Yeah, I used to be one of those kids that was doing the sprite comics. They're gone now. You'll never be able to find them. Oh God, somebody out there just accepted the challenge. He saw that I was spending a lot of time doing that thing, or my parents had said something about that. So I ended up with my first one when I was 12. Yeah, very fortunate. I completely understand that. That is what has led me down the path into like graphic design and the art that you guys see me do today. So yeah, there has always been a lot of support. And then on the other end of it, there is always a reality check with my family. It's not that it's not being supportive, it's just, hey, it's always been, well, I know for a while there I was told to go into business. I guess I kind of have now, but not in like a college form. I have never gone into business. I've taken some business classes, not a whole lot, because, oh my God, somebody kill me. Yeah, there was always a reality check of, hey, that's not a real way to make a living. It always instilled this, oh, I will show you attitude in my head. Like I always had like this defiance about me. Like it would always be playing in the back of my head every time I fucking heard that. Just, that's not a real job. Kind of just the general things that a lot of people who like art hear. And this is probably a story for another time. Eventually I kind of just stumbled, well, how do I put my college experience, like how I ended up in graphic design. I stumbled dick first into a very lucky position. And yeah, you can call that as much innuendo as you want. I don't care. That's pretty much how it happened. It was just sheer chance. It really was just sheer chance, but I couldn't be happier where I am. But yeah, it's that realism that, hey, that's not a real way to make money. I started making money off commissions when I was 13 or 14. One of my folks set up a PayPal account for me, obviously under their name. That was quite helpful because, you know, that's just incentive to keep working on stuff is, hey, people are actually willing to pay me for stuff. And well, here I am. I have the day job in marketing, and then I have my own business on the side. It works really, really well. And I have so much fun doing everything that I do for you guys. Like, seriously, I could not be thankful enough between the Twitch streaming, the commissions that you guys come to me for, and support via other sources, just like everything. You guys are fucking amazing. I will wrap this up by saying, in general, it's a mixture of family around me and the interests that I picked up pretty early on. I mean, there's a mixture of Disney is obviously a huge thing that I reflect in quite a bit of my like cartoon stuff. I loved Winnie the Pooh. That was like my favorite. Winnie the Pooh, Powerpuff Girls. If you want to know some of my favorite shows as a kid, hell yeah. But to wrap things up, I just released a update to my comic Monday. It's not a friendly comic. It is gory. It is gonna get gorier. If you guys have seen some of the concepts on other platforms, then you know it's gonna get gory. I am gonna be starting up my Patreon for both the videos, the comic, and stream. All sorts of stuff is gonna be going on. Check me out on Twitter, Patreon, and Twitch, of course. I do all sorts of stuff on there. That's like my main focus that I'm trying to branch out from. Gotta do more, right? No such thing as enough. All right, you guys have a wonderful whatever it is for you right now. And I'll talk to you later.